Before I start, I'd like to disclose the following. We are not financial advisors, nor do we provide financial advice. We are not getting paid to promote any services or product. There are two ways we get paid. For the free site, Google pays us 70% of the fee they receive from advertisers for clicked ads. And two, we accept donations, and those who donate receive a 1-year full access of the premium site. In this video, we examine TD preferred and common stock to see which one is best. We make the decision based on today's latest data. The conclusion will change over time based on changes to preferred and common stock, but the process of arriving at the decision is the same. For this video, I will use the premium site. Similar information can be found on the free site, but not all of it in a single web page. Let's log into the TD ranking page. All metrics and data analytics fields shown in this page are updated daily, Monday to Friday, based on the latest market data for TD. Notice the navigation buttons at the top of the page. These allow jumping to the start of each section, making it easier to compare information between each section on the page. Go to the top of the page using the up arrow. Scroll down the page to review some of the metrics we use. Let's go to section TD Common Share Metrics. Let's look at some of the yield-related metrics relevant to our current evaluation. As you can see, the current yield on the common is 4.41%. In the section TD Overall Preferred Share Metrics, we see the following metrics. The lowest current yield is TD PFE at 3.48%. The highest current yield is TD PFG at 5.42%. The average current yield is 4.66%, and the 5-year reset average yield is 3.68%. Let's compare TD yields to the banking sector averages. From the menu, select Market Review. As you can see, today's average market yield is 5.46%. This is the average yield across all preferreds. TD's average preferred yield is almost 1% less. In the section Statistics by Sector, locate the banking sector. The sector has an average current yield of 4.68% and reset yield of 3.84%. TD yields are very close to the averages. Let's go back to the Rank TD Preferreds page and the Rank Compare tool. In the section Rank TD Preferreds Compare tool, you can see that we have a lot of metrics, but for this decision, we choose to use the blended yield only. The blended yield is a projection of the average yield for the next 5 years. We will be comparing this to a similar metric of the common stock. To begin with, let's review the table Blended Yield by highest the yield first. As you can see, TD PFG Preferred has the following yields. The current is 5.42%, the reset is 5%, and the blended is 5%. There is a 0.42% yield drop from current to reset. In terms of the yield, you are getting 5.42% until April 2021, and then for the next 5 years, you will be getting 5%. Of course, this is based on today's 5-year GOC rate. So the best blended yield you can expect at this point from the preferred is 5% if you pick TD PFG based on today's rates. Notice the current price is $25.46. That's 46 cents above face value. In terms of capital gains, you have no upside potential and you are fully exposed to downside risk. Use what-if scenarios to see other projected yields for TDPFG. Click the button What If Scenarios to get to this section. Sort the table by current yield. TDPFG is now at the top. Go to the very right of the table to see the projected yield for scenario 6. The 5-year Government of Canada bond rate is set at 1.6%. You can now see the best case scenario is for a blended yield of 6.12%. Click on the button Common or Preferred. TD Bank common shares are currently yielding 4.4% and have a compound annual growth rate of 6% based on historical data starting with the year 2003 to the latest year 2020. Current quarterly dividend is 79 cents. Unfortunately, the dividend has not been consistently increasing over the last 18 years. Case A. Based on the 18-year compound annual growth rate of the TD dividend, I calculate the future dividend for the next 5 years to be starting at 83 cents and ending at $1.06. Assuming the stock price remains the same, 71.73 over the next 5 years, the corresponding yields will be 4.6%, 4.9%, 5.2%, 5.5%, 5.9%. The average yield over the next 5 years is expected to be 5.2%. Case B. Based on the last 10 compound annual growth rate of 2.6% for the TD dividend, I calculate the future dividend for the next 5 years to be starting at 81 cents and ending at 89 cents. Assuming the stock price remains the same, 71.73 over the next 5 years, the corresponding yields will be 4.5%, 4.6%, 4.7%, 4.8%, and 5%. The average yield over the next 5 years is expected to be 4.7%. Case C. Based on the last 5-year compound annual growth rate of 7.4% for the TD dividend, I calculate the future dividend for the next 5 years to be starting at 84 cents and ending at $1.12. Assuming the stock price remains the same, 71.73 over the next 5 years, the corresponding yields will be 4.7%, 5%, 5.4%, 5.8%, and 6.2%. The average yield over the next 5 years is expected to be 5.4%. Use this yield when comparing to the preferred yield. Position at TD common stock short position over time. This graph shows the short position for TD common shares over time. Place the mouse cursor over the graph to reveal data like the date and short position detail. Currently, the outstanding float for TD is roughly 1.8 billion shares, and the latest short position is roughly 59 million shares. Thus, the current short position is 3.2% of the outstanding float. You can see the short positions of other bank stocks in their respective web pages on our site. Thank you for watching and happy investing.